So here I'm reading a article, I believe, from a German Christian newspaper from 1937 to 39. I don't, the year is not included here. I should have included it. But anyway, I think it's 37 or something like that. It says, against the abuse of religion for political purposes. Right. And now this is on the right school translate, left is the German original. Um, and oh, I actually found this on the Bundesarchive. Yeah. So anyway, at the Fourth Reich Conference of the National Church Movement of German Christians, which approximately 12,000 participants from across the Reich gathered in the Wartburg town, a brooch was issued by the National Church Movement in which the movement expressed its, I don't know if brooch is the right word, expressed its responsibility before the people and the church on fundamental issues in the spirit of its guiding principle. This declaration concludes, because the National Church movement of German Christians is concerned with the Christian faith of the German people and not with worldly fanaticism disguised as Christianity, right? Like Judeo Christianity, or with Weltpolitik disguised as literature, we reject the so called ecumenical movement most emphatically. In my note, I believe that movement was very popular in England and America at the time and prior, which was a basically a Judeo-Christian movement. The Jews heavily infiltrated that. Anyway, we passionately protest against the ecumenical movement conducting a political attack against National Socialism, to which we fervently belong, right? The German Christians fervently belong to National Socialism by way of the church and by misusing religious terms. A Christian conference that undertakes to speak and judge normatively about church, people, and state according to Oxford methods has forfeited the right to appeal to the gospel. It serves not faith, but politics, and builds a world conference alongside the Vatican in Rome and to a church council, a Vatican in Geneva, right, where the League of Nations was, right, the one world government, or Canterbury. The so called ecumenical movement has thus condemned itself for all who wish to preserve Luther's legacy. It succumbs to the fate of the political internationals to which it has delivered the Christian faith, right? It is no longer Christian. They're saying it delivered it to the Jewish world conspiracy, is what really happened. In America, I talked about this in other videos. If you want to read about what happened to the American churches and why Americans believe Jews are God's chosen people, you can go read about the subversion of American churches. There's some books written about that and about the social gospel movement, which was basically a Jewish Marxist subversion of American churches in the late 1800s into the early and mid 1900s. And I mean, the subversion started way before that too, when you had all the Jews come over in the 1840s and 50s after the 1848 revolution in Europe. But anyway, continuing. Uh, the German Volk marches beyond the collapse of all political and Christian internationals. With it, the national church movement, the German Christians, moves into a new day in joyful Christian faith. The Eisenach Declaration will be welcomed by all Germans, regardless of their religious affiliation, as the only possible response to a political declaration of war on National Socialist Germany disguised as ecclesiastical and religious. Yep, that's what the Jews do. National Socialism has only too often had to vigorously defend itself against the political power claims of small church groups. All the more, it welcomes the unequivocal rejection by German Protestants of all attempts to falsify and politicize questions of faith. We would most welcome if the basic stance proclaimed in Eisenach by a section of the Protestant Church were to prevail everywhere. For tolerance in matters of faith is a matter, of course, for National Socialism, as soon as the Reich leader Rosenberg once again stated on Sunday in Landsberg an der Wart to the applause of tens of thousands, The vital rights of the nation are recognized. So anyway, I think that's all I had there. Yeah. So, but yeah, 12,000 people attended the German Christian gathering. Um, yeah, the German Christian movement was pretty big in Germany, and it was affecting most churches. Many of the Protestant churches were involved. They even had reaches outside of Germany to like German nationals in other countries and whatnot. So the German Christian movement was basically entirely populated by National Socialists. They had a huge influence within the National Socialist Party. Some of the Reich leaders were involved in it, and all of the Reich leaders had connections to it. Many of their friends from Rosenberg and Hitler and Himmler, all the way to even what's his name? The guy everybody claims hated Christianity. Why am I having a brain fart? Well, anyway, so that's what I got here.